wrong, but then the relief quickly gives way to, oh no, some guy from Metairie, Louisiana is threatening me with death because I like ruined the regional dish.
What's up, everybody? It's Cale Berger from 93.7 The Fan. This is Shootin' the Stick, presented by Leon's Billiards and more. You can find them Route 19 in Wexford, and we're joined this week by Chris Mueller, half of the PM team on 93.7 The Fan. Malsey, thanks for joining the show.
Cale, pleasure to be on Shootin' the Stick. Two things about me. I play pool left-handed, and I play pool very poorly.
A very solid break. Better than Crowley.
Yeah, I mean, I can't like hammer it because I'm using my wrong hand. But if I try to play this way, it's a mess.
You don't have as much mass as you used to either, which helps. That's a compliment.
As much mass.
Chris, obviously one of your most famous stories is the time you hit 9 straight threes at Penn State, but
Yes.
How often in the last 20 years or so have you had to avoid people trying to challenge you to recreate it?
It's funny, people fall into two camps. They either obviously don't believe it because it's just such an odd thing to say. But then what I've been heartened by is, because it is a true story, Starkey of all people, who's a way better shooter than me, he has said to me, he's like, listen man, I believe it because you said 9, not 10, not 15. You're like, 9? He's like, I could see you getting hot in a pickup game and trying to, and getting on a tear like that. Starkey is the one guy here. Have you had him on Shootin' the Stick yet?
We are planning on.
Is he like the white whale?
He is.
That dude is an unbelievable shooter of the basketball.
I've seen
$50
it.
off me in a game of horse like it was nothing. But no, I don't have to avoid people with the 9 straight threes thing. I just have to deal with the shame when they actually watch me play these days, which is hardly ever, and I look like a guy who couldn't throw a ball in the ocean. I'm just gonna have to rely on you scratching the 8 ball for the cheapest win in history.
Well, you're in luck because that's happened more than once.
I mean, I've hit some really bad shots here, but that might be the worst one.
Oh my God.
Now I'm gonna try to follow it up by hitting one even worse here, but I think even for me that might be tough.
Chris, you of course got your start here at 93.7 The Fan, going 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. Not only do I want to know how you had to reorganize your life to be able to survive that, but give me your best story of the Late Night Loonies.
Oh man, so Late Night Loonies was didn't know what the heck I was doing, obviously wasn't going to be able to book guests, and so you're just trying to make whoever those people are who might be listening to this new station in town, because day one employee, or day one on the air at least, how am I going to ingratiate myself? I don't even know if I have one that isn't just me eating something that made me very ill one night, and then Craig Riley, who's now my boss, having to constantly refill audio and cover for me while I ran to the bathroom about 10 different times in the show. That's not an exaggeration. I think the funniest thing was that we were able to get such a level of devotion from those people that we started doing giveaways at 3 in the morning. And I got to just play in the sandbox where I was a Super Troopers fan, still am.
Yeah.
And I would just play a game called the Meow Game, where I would be I'm gonna say meow between the hours of 3 and 4. And the first person who texts in, because no one called, maybe people would call at 2 a.m. if there was a humongous story, right? The first person to text in and say, you just said meow, wins the prize. It was wild. That shift, you said, how did I organize my life? I lived at home, I was 24 years old, I had no idea what was gonna happen. It was a shot in the dark to even apply. My parents had to put foil over my bedroom windows for that brief time I was still living at home after I started here. I had to do melatonin and all that stuff and sleep in a pitch black cave where my sleep schedule was more 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Insane. Just an insane way to live.
Oh no.
Jump! In the trunk.
Good shot. Good shot.
Thank you. I would love to tell you that that's what I intended to do, but we both know that would be a lie. Yeah. But I grew up on going up to Cleveland on a pool table, and you'd think I'd be better at it, but I just never had any interest in trying to get really good.
Chris, you're a guy who always loves to share some of the cuisine he crafts up in the kitchen, but
Okay.
a couple years ago, you got some flack on social media for your gumbo, or I guess lack thereof gumbo.
I think you're supposed to use, I think the state of Louisiana, as part of the settlement I reached with them, I have to say gumbo for that picture.
Well, which barb from the internet cut the deepest with regards to your so-called gumbo?
So the funniest part was there were people who were actually like kind of nice about it, and they were just like, dude, that looks really good actually and flavorful, but it is not gumbo. What you posted is not a picture of gumbo. So it was actually nice to get like some nice comments mixed in with you were just the worst human being alive. Like, don't ever cook again and don't ever post a picture. Now people, as a running joke, will just post a picture of like ice cream and tag me and say gumbo. And so it's like, or like you'll see somebody like with a new pair of shoes, like something that's not even food, gumbo. If I made that same recipe tomorrow, which I might, there will be Gumbo 2 Redemption Song, Gumbo 2 Electric Boogaloo. There actually will be Gumbo 3. It'll happen again. And I'm gonna post it, and I'm gonna be triumphant. But as, like, with everything, the whole state of Louisiana came after me, and people wanted to pile on the negative.
Yeah.
They're not, when I make a flawless bowl of gumbo and post it in the coming months, no one's gonna be like, oh, you fixed it all. They're gonna wanna focus on old gumbo. I think that did like several 100,000 retweets and likes and all that. That's easily the biggest tweet I've ever had, and I woke up to like my absolute horror. And realized that tweet had gone viral to like text from like Sean Gentili, my buddy, going like, what did you do? And then you're just like, oh no, am I gonna get in trouble? And then you have a moment of relief where you're like, oh no, people just hate the gumbo picture. I didn't do anything wrong. But then the relief quickly gives way to, oh no, some guy from Metairie, Louisiana is threatening me with death because I like ruined the regional dish.
Chris, before the days of the PM team, it of course was Starkey and Mueller. Just a fan favorite show. Give me the best part about working with Joe Starkey and the worst part about working with Joe Starkey.
This is gonna be publicly broadcast?
It will be, yeah. Maybe this entices him to come back and give you a
I'm gonna have to like redact some of it. The best part was Joe is genuinely a nice and very funny guy. He's a weird guy. I think working with people that approach the world differently is fun. Joe's stories about like, I drank olive oil before my first time in college drinking, like, you know, going out to my first college parties because I thought it would coat my stomach. Like, all of that stuff is hilarious. I mean, Joe's he's like just completely nuts, in a good way. There was always just this, hey, I have this, and this ready. Is he gonna barrel in here after doing an interview for 13 minutes with a backup offensive lineman from Pitt and say he wants to run it at 3 o'clock? And am I gonna have to like gently tell him that that's a bad idea? So the thing that makes Joe so endearing can also be the thing that makes Joe so completely infuriating at times.
Oh my God.
Come off that rail, thank you. Oh, we just love to see it, don't we?
I don't know if we do.
We just love to see it with our boy. But again, I have given my left-handed self just a horrible non-shot here. So.
Oh no. Oh my God.
Oh, dude, you are so lucky. But you have to go down and back. You can't just.
I know.
You can't just do that. I just hit 2 of the best shots of my life. I don't care that second one scratched.
I don't know what I can do here.
I'll show off my abs. Sure, why not?
He's got him now.
Lose the game spectacularly after looking like you were gonna win the whole time?
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, I made it good.
I'm gonna try and.
So you gotta go down and back.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta go 2 diamonds in, 2 diamond max, Luke 2 diamond Phillips. Oh no, Cale. You might not have wanted to do that.
Oh my God.
I mean, I should win this right here, right now. I am all that is man!
Just another epic collapse by me, but obviously a very good effort from Chris Mueller. Mulsey, congratulations. What do you have to say to the people?
I cannot actually believe I won because I was getting my ass kicked the entire time, and frankly, I did not deserve to win. But that's that Cleveland Billiards background, baby. Never say die, never give up.
And I continue to lose in perfect Cleveland fashion. We'll see you next time on Shootin' the Stick, presented by Leon's Billiards and more.